Hi everybody, and welcome back to Verdant Wind. We're now in Chapter 9, and I earned A+ Professor level during the Fistfuls of Fish event this month, so I can now do 3 battles in a single weekend. I'm kicking things off with a very old quest, Roster Retrieval, a DLC quest given to you by Constance as early as Chapter 3. Before now, this quest didn't really fit in with my plans. The other quest battles in Chapter 5 and Chapter 7 had higher levels, so they'd give more experience, and in Chapter 8 I really wanted to spend my 2 battle points on Paralogs to get their rewards. But now I finally have an opening in my schedule, and this quest fits right in. Almost all the enemies here are just level 11, and that means I'll get next to no experience. But I'll still get full credit in terms of skill points and class mastery. Since the enemies are so pathetic, this map is a great opportunity to farm those things at very little risk. Byleth and Claude unlocked Warlock and Warrior as planned. Byleth is in Thief now to do stealing duties. I don't actually care about mastering the class. Claude's in Mercenary because he still needs Vantage. Lysithea is a Cavalier. I want to work on her riding rank so she can qualify for Valkyrie, and if I can boost her lance break as well, then she could unlock Paladin too. By earning a physical advanced class, she can get a big strength boost that will help her counteract the weight of her spells a little. Balthus is in Priest because I want him to rush all the way to B+ rank in Faith, which will let me unlock Bishop. Bishop certification gives him a respectable magic stat to work with. Less than what Warlock grants, but he needs Faith anyway for War Monk, so it's much easier to continue in that skill. And of course we went to all that trouble to make Cyril a Wyvern Rider. He also has Sea Authority, so he can use the Alliance Wyvern Company. Cyril already has all the abilities he needs, so he has a higher purpose here. Fair warning, Major Cheese incoming.
Who, me?
After using Stride, Marianne waits. When she stays at this spot, Cyril can use Impregnable Wall on her so that it applies to both Leone and Petra. I want to grind out the class masteries for Leone and Petra really quickly. If Leone can get all 100 points for Brigand right now, she'll be basically feature complete. Her main ability loadout for the rest of the game will be Bow Prowess, Close Counter, Death Blow, Hit plus 20, and Weight minus 3. Petra's a little behind in class mastery because I recruited her late and had her spend time in Thief. While I do want her to have Steel for later, it's obviously not a useful combat ability, and she'll benefit a lot from having Hit plus 20. Balthus is going to work alongside Leone and Petra. His healing will be useful, and he'll help his adjutant, Claude, progress in the Mercenary class.
Let us away.
Let me at him.
Basically, Leone, Petra, and Balthus will form a 3-person team, marching right up into the enemy horde and doing most of the combat while trading the knowledge gem amongst themselves. Most other units will stay behind, whittling away at a handful of enemies as the main trio marches forth. You may have noticed that my units are carrying a bunch of broken weapons. When I'm battling all these low-level fighters and knights, I might as well use weapons that don't have any durability to lose. Their terrible damage will also work to my advantage because I'll be able to do more combat without killing.
Not as...
Now.
A second stride ensures that I can get everyone in position. The rear group will draw a few enemies away.
Saw that.
Impregnable Wall is the real key to this strategy because it allows my 3 main fighters to handle a ton of engagements. They can walk up and battle 4 or 5 enemies every turn. Leone's Gambit freezes the archers in place so that they can't target Cyril. And Byleth grabs the second stealable trade secret while simultaneously blocking that fighter's path to the south.
Did the trick.
By standing next to Lysithea, Flayn's personal ability boosts Lysithea's defenses so that enemies who can reach them will focus on Raphael or Marianne.
Not so fast!
Let's try.
The one mage here is occupying an important space, so he needs to go. With him gone, Cyril can dismount in the forest and then use Impregnable Wall again.
Appreciate it.
Nearly every enemy is already active, so the trio can stay in place for a turn. Meanwhile, in the southwest, I can build a formation around Flayn so that each of my units here takes less damage, and so that Flayn herself can't get attacked. It's not that I don't want Flayn to fight, but rather that she'll deal way more damage with her magic than the others will using their weapons.
I thank you. Let's get to it.
Ready anytime.
Better be careful. Leave it to me. Let us away.
What I've engineered is a lot like the classic cheese strategy for Ox battle grinding, where you equip some powerful unit with a broken weapon, stick them on defensive terrain, and end turn over and over until all the enemies are dead. You can earn a lot of skill points for a unit and an adjutant doing that, but this is even better. My whole team is in on the act, and I'm going to get hundreds of class mastery points, but still finish in a handful of turns. In spite of her weakness in lances, Lysithea is still earning lance points at a reasonable clip. Mastermind boosts her innate rate of learning from 1 point to 2, and then her class adds another 2. If I weren't trying to get Lysithea on a mount and I just wanted her to get a strength boost at level 20, it would probably be faster to try for an assassin promotion. But the lance ranks will be handy for the Dark Knight exam, and the training she's getting in riding will make Valkyrie qualification a cinch.
Stay focused.
While I don't want Byleth to kill these archers, I do want to block their path to the southwest. It wouldn't do to have them suddenly shooting at Lysithea.
I owe you.
Byleth stops them from going west, and the trio can form a line cutting off their way south.
This! Oh, me? Better be careful.
Not so fast!
Why me?
I'm
Let's try.
Saw it coming!
If you're aware of this game's calendar, you may have realized that this is happening after the White Heron Cup. Marianne did win, and she unlocked the Dancer class, but I'm not using it just yet. Like Lysithea, I want Marianne to unlock a Physical Advanced class for the stats. Unlike Lysithea, I care about the Paladin class beyond that. While Marianne will be dancing on almost any mission that has real objectives to do, she also wants a lot of training in riding. A+ rank unlocks Movement +1, an ability that can be very useful on a dancer. It'll help her keep up with all the mounted units I'll be using later in the game. Just like with the mage earlier, I'm having Byleth dispose of one enemy to open up space for Cyril. He could fly around, but I don't want him in range of the archers. I could kill the archers to compensate, but they represent free class experience every turn for Leone or Petra.
Thanks, pal.
You inspire.
Another benefit to putting Marianne into combat here is that she can improve her authority skill. Dancing is great, but as an action it gives you 0 authority points. Marianne won't ever be a primary combat unit, but I do still want her to equip a strong B-rank battalion eventually.
I'm sorry. Let's try.
This is turn 6, and Cyril is finally out of Impregnable wall charges. The trio up north now has to tank everything themselves, and they're going to start dealing real damage whether they want to or not. The fighter to the left of Ignatz wants to attack Byleth now, but Lysithea can change his priorities by removing her shield. Coincidentally, this also makes one of the fighters that was hitting Marianne go for her instead. Useful, since Marianne has a habit of accidentally killing people with her crest.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I guess the Monastery staff put the fences back up since we were last here. Petra and her adjutant, Hilda, are nearly synced up in terms of class mastery points. That means Petra won't need the knowledge gem so much anymore. She and Hilda can both finish their classes without its help.
Caution is needed.
The question now is how to finish this battle so that Petra, Hilda, and Leonie all master their classes right here. Since I can't kill the archers on enemy phase, I want to work against them on player phase.
I thank you.
B+ in bows allows Leonie to attempt the sniper exam as soon as she hits level 20.
Apologies.
Not so fast!
Saw it coming.
I haven't yet discussed the fact that Ignatz is a mercenary. He's going into warrior, so he might as well grab Vantage. The Vantage and Wrath combo will not play quite as big a role for him as it will for Claude, but it's still going to be useful until he can transition to something better after the time skip.
Limit is nearby.
I can't sustain all these poison strikes any longer, so now is the time to kill the archers. Lawrence hits C+ in lances and earns Frozen Lance. That'll make him a surprisingly strong paladin, and I will want him to be a paladin for a while. One of the major problems for magic units in the advanced tier is their lack of mobility at a time when other people are getting flight. When a map calls for a lot of movement, Lawrence will be much stronger on a horse, even though he doesn't get to use his magic on enemy phase. Instead of going in sequence, I had the two ladies on the ends of the trio move first. That way they could both use real bows, and then Balthus could switch their weapons back afterwards.
You inspire.
Everyone in the south keeps chipping away. I could keep doing this for a long time, but I'm simply waiting to synchronize with the northern group. Next turn, those 3 are going to kill everything around them, and the other 7 in the south will do likewise.
Wow.
Who, me?
Ready anytime. Stay focused.
I'm not entirely certain at this point that it's worthwhile to give Byleth another combat action here. I'm worried that it might be at the expense of someone else.
I'm sorry.
Flayn's efforts have unlocked Be Faith and the Rescue spell. Rescue is meant to be a kind of inverse warp, but you can use it as a warp substitute if the rescuer has enough range and mobility.
Stay focused.
I changed my mind again, but unfortunately Flayn's healing advanced the random number sequence, so now Byleth's attack is a crit.
Stay focused. Predictable.
Let us away. Why me? They said... Well...
Hilda just needs one more round of combat to master the Brigand class. Lysithea becomes my 3rd unit to reach B authority. I only have the Gloucester Knights right now, but I will be getting a lot more B rank battalions soon. It's time to finish things. To review, Petra needs just one more fight so that Hilda will unlock Deathblow, and Leone requires several more battles to do the same. The best way to achieve that is to set up so that all the enemies up here have to attack Leone on enemy phase, and so that she kills on retaliation. I wouldn't mind if Balthus also got one more battle, but the problem is that he doesn't have the power to kill with his magic.
Let me at him.
Thank you. Let's get to it.
If she kills the closest fighter, then Leone stands in the way of all 4 of the others.
Admiration.
With that set in motion, the Southern group will now finish off their punching bags. It's possible for them to set up enemy phase kills of their own, allowing for maybe 1 or 2 extra rounds of combat, but I'm satisfied with all I've achieved already.
Ready anytime.
Leave it to me.
Ready when you are.
Who, me?
Leone will finish Brigand right on time. That'll be a full 100, or rather 106, class mastery points gained in one battle. She can sit out next time, when we do another quest battle, Something to Prove. I've delayed that one too, but only for a month, so it's basically on level. If you want to see some more hijinks, please subscribe.